Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Vid Productions. In this video, we're going to go over the upper level tables and the track arrangements and so on and so forth. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed the video series on my Helix build. I am glad that it's finally done. Yay! And I am currently working on, we're going to start from the bridge, from the first bridge that I have. The first table is going to be number 1, then number 2, then number 3, and so on. So when I say I'm working on table 1, you'll know what I'm working on. Anyhow, I got an email from Mr. X, and he totally does not want me to mention his name. So Mr. X, you got it, buddy. I appreciate your help, and we'll keep it between us. Next thing I want to talk about, I am slowly creeping up to my 2,000 subscriber. When I do reach 2,000 subscribers, there will be some sort of giveaway. I don't know what it's going to be yet. It just depends on what the situation is at the time. Next thing I want to say is it does not matter what scale you do. You just never have enough room. I've been working on table number 1, trying to get it situated as close to prototype as I could, but the space is just not allowing me to do it. So I'm coming up with some different options. The first option was in the last video I did. I will be going over some of the options in this video that I might consider doing. I'm not sure yet, but lack of space, no matter how much room you have, is never enough. My total space from that wall to the wall in the second room is 19 feet, and the longest wall in the other room is 13 feet. So, you know, it's just like never enough room. Alright, when we get out to the layout, I'll show you the different options I'm going to be doing for table number 1 and table number 2, because they're going to be kind of joined together. Next thing, I have a question for you N-scale guys. Any of you guys purchased any of the SD70 Aces lately and have a problem with trucks making a clicking sound when they go backwards? There's a problem with the trucks, and Cato does not have any trucks to replace them, so I don't know if there's a fix for it or whatever. Anyhow, if any of you guys know of anything, let me know, because I have 2 of them right now that they both making the same clicking noise. So anyhow, give me a minute and we'll get out to the layout, and I'll show you what's going on out there, and your suggestions and input would be welcome to help me out here. I did like I said in the first part of this video, one of my subscribers, Al Jaster, subscribed to me, and also made a comment on my last video that I should move a turnout to a certain position, and I'll show you what I did with that also. Anyhow, stay tuned and we'll get out to the layout, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Alright guys, here we are back out at the layout, and I'm going to show you my tentative track plan at this point. There's the first base, is called Fertizona, as you can see, and we'll slowly move around this side, and then you can see Calgas, Plains, LPG, Waddell, Arizona. Anyhow, we're going to start from this side. Alright, we have the main line under the bridge coming in, and it's going to split off into a siding here. I'm going to have the spacing at 1 1/4 inches, center line on the track. Then we're going to split off and come into the facility for Fertizona and Calgas. Anyhow, I did omit the second siding that was in here. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this small yard here, which actually in prototype is actually in front of here and runs all the way up the street. Anyhow, I think that's more prototypical to do it that way. So anyhow, we'll go around here, and as you can see, my main line and my siding. And I'm not going to go any further. You'll see the rest of it in the next clip. But anyhow, I did make changes to this. Something that I've been thinking about doing right from the get-go, but I didn't do it that way until one of my subscribers said I should try it. Anyhow, so far we're looking pretty good. I got another one of Mr. X's turnouts to operate, so now I got, I think, 8 of them on here, and I'm looking forward to getting this all done. Anyhow, the next step is to put all this together, and then I will temporarily give it a couple of shots of glue just to hold it in place, and I'll do some wiring, and most likely do a test run with a few cars and a couple of locomotives. Anyhow, stay tuned, and we'll be right back with the next part of this video. Alright guys, I originally was going to put my turnout there, but the reason why I wasn't going to put it there is because I didn't want these curves to be too sharp. But when you are compressing stuff, you need to make as much room available as possible. One of my subs, Mr. Al Jaster or Jaster, recommended that I put the turnout there, so I thought I'd give it a try. Anyhow, because of that, I'm able to get my entire 25 car train onto that siding. I could have extended it more on that side, but I don't want to get into the next town, and that's the reason for that overpass, is to kind of give it a little bit of a scenic break between this part of the area and that part of the area. Sorry about my fingers. But anyhow, I think I'm going to leave it like this. It seems to be working okay. I got my full 25 cars in there. And also, I got the locomotive stopped just before the road, but I'm thinking that if a train is coming up the hill, it really doesn't matter if this train is blocking the road. So if that's the case, I can get about at least 2 more cars. Oops, at least 2 more cars on here. So anyhow, thanks for pushing me on that, Al. I appreciate it, and it looks like it might work. Anyhow, we'll be back soon with more update. Alright guys, we're out here in the layout room now, and we're looking at table number 1. As you can see, the main line is going to stay there. In fact, it's secured all the way up to the curve, that joint right there, because I have other plans for this part of the layout, and I don't know if it's going to work out yet. Anyhow, as you remember, I had the Fertizona plant there, and I had the cow gas here. I didn't like the way it was, so I made a few changes at this point, and I don't know if this is going to be the final one or not. Like I said, no matter what scale you're doing, you always need more room. Anyhow, when I first built this table right here, I decided to make it 16 inches because I knew that I would need some room for the industry that would be here. What I wasn't counting on was how this has to be curved into here for the cow gas. So I decided to move it here. Now, there's not enough room for this, so I'm just thinking about taking this whole section right here and moving it back a couple of inches to give me more room here. I'm still not happy with that. So I think I'm going to have to come around here like I originally had it. And again, the distance between this facility and that facility is about 2 miles or so. And again, you can see how much I'm compressing everything because of lack of room. So I have another option that I'm thinking about doing, and I'll show you that in the next clip. So hang on, and we'll be right back. before I forget. I had a 2-staging track on this side. Well, it was more prototypical to have it down here, but the problem is all this extra trackage starts at the cow gas place, and as you can see, I got a curve right there. And of course, if I decide to do this, I will put a triangle piece in there to fill that in or whatever. And you might be wondering why that clamp is holding that 2x2 up. Well, I'll show you that in the next clip. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. Alright guys, here we are back out at the layout, and the first thing I want to show you is the reason why I had those 2x2s clamped up is because I actually added 3.5 inches to the front of this table. So now from the back of the board to the outside of the table is 19.5 inches. And because I was able to do that, I was able to do a couple other changes that would help me out also. If you guys remember, the main line back here had a little bit of a S-curve type deal. Well, I straightened those track out right now. And because I straightened the track out, I'm able to put a turnout there. And we will come into the facilities via the track here. Now let me tell you something about this track right here. This track represents about, I'm going to guess about 5 miles. I never really followed the whole thing. But as it travels from the P-vine, this now becomes the Enos sub. Yes, and I said Enos with an E. Anyhow, this track right here represents about 5 miles of trackage. And as it comes down this way, it's actually going in the backyards of people's houses, because there's houses on both sides of this. Anyhow, moving on here, this turnout and this turnout will bring me into cow gas. And I'm sorry for the very crude mock-up I have, but these are all little bits and pieces of track that I had until I can figure out a way to get some track. Anyhow, now we take this guy right here, and we'll come by. And because of this modification, I'm able to take this and move it back further from where it was originally in the last clip of this video, which is closer to the cow gas. Anyhow, it'll split off and it'll eventually go into Fertizona. And this track right here follows all the way through, and it goes through a couple of other places down beyond here. And believe it or not, this area is pretty much kind of like a farming area. Yeah, I said farming. We do have farming in Arizona. They grow all sorts of stuff, cotton, melons. They even have a place that grows roses and stuff like that. But anyhow, I never followed this the rest of the way, so I really don't know what's down that way. These two tracks in the center here will be storage track for either incoming or outbound tankers. But it's my layout, so I'll probably use some hoppers too. Fertizona also gets tankers. And as you can see, at this point, I can get 8 tankers in this one. And I can get 8 mixed in that one. Anyhow, I hope you guys will follow the series along. I don't know how many parts it's going to be, but we'll continue on video as long as we can do it. Anyhow, from that last turnout, that one there, again, I'm going to do my little S-curve dealy because I want the track to line up with these guys. And the reason why I didn't move these guys is because I have them already temporarily wired up. So it'll follow down, and at the end, down there, we're going to have another bridge scene. And that bridge is going to go across the Hassayampa River. I don't want it to be close to the back wall because I want the scene to be more three-dimensional, so you guys can see the bridge and you can see the flow of the river the way it's going to go. Anyhow, like I said, I don't know how many parts this is going to take, and I don't know how long it's going to be before I can get some track to do all of this stuff. But anyhow, this is my next option, And if you guys have any input or suggestions or whatever, I will take into consideration. And right after me showing you the updates here, I'm going to have a couple of small clips of some tankers being moved around at CalGas. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and as always, your questions, comments, input, and subs are always welcome. For now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 out.